Let me not forget my function. A big question that comes up around this lesson and just around the word temptation is a little confusing sometimes when we're trying to figure out what that word means, especially if we've come from other dogmas of Christian and any other alike that teaches that there are wrong actions to be taken in the world. And now in this, I don't condone nor condemn any activity, but of course for society and your physical world, yes, there are things that are necessary to keep it surviving and to keep yourself healthy. And of course all this physical stuff has in a sense provocations, consequences, and of course benefits in other ways. And so of course in the physical world of opposition, there's right things and wrong things to do. It's just like in a goal. Like if you have a goal in A Course in Miracles of awakening, there is one way to do that, one way to go about it. Well, there's several ways, but essentially it's one direction, right? To awakening, right? To discovering who you are, right? So to go asleep or to forget who you are is the opposite of your goal, right? So then that would be a wrong way to achieve the goal. So a lot of times we insist that even A Course in Miracles is saying that there's rights and wrongs, but it is in the establishment of the goal of discovering yourself, awakening, okay? So you want to keep that in mind, because it also will go off and explain about how there is no right or wrong, there's no real opposition at all, and it's really not about your actions in any sort of sense. So temptation here is mostly about, in several different ways, but about forgetting who you are. Or of course, even in light of the last few lessons, as I even mentioned, the temptation to not forgive or to choose other than your happiness. Now really, in the same way, your goal is in every decision to make a choice for your happiness or for not your happiness, your craziness, your sadness, your upset, anything else, right? So every situation, everything that arrives, you're either tempted a little bit, you might be tempted to choose to be upset instead, or see that this is upsetting situation or problematic or difficult to deal with or something. And it makes sense, completely justified in the physical world. The physical world, absolutely, you're 100% justified. This is attempting to help you discover what you are outside of the physical world, okay? I'm not saying don't be upset if your dog got hit by a car. It's okay to be upset by that. It's okay to be upset by anything and everything that's happening in the physical world. Completely justified. Now, if your goal is to discover who you are, you have an opportunity in every action that is justified in your upset. An opportunity to try to see beyond it, or try to see the light through it, try to see past it. That's an opportunity, okay? That opportunity to discover who you are instead. So that is applying forgiveness, trying to forgive instead of being upset. Now, of course, if you get upset, you messed up, so what? Not a big deal. Not something to be upset about. Again, just if you're upset, be honest with yourself and allow yourself to be upset. Be upset 100%. Just blow up. Get it out. Maybe next time you'll choose happiness instead. So it's a little confusing. You're going to be trying to figure it out a lot. I know it took a while for me trying to figure out how to actually do this and when is it done. It's like I'm already upset, so maybe I'll just have to be upset. And when is the decision, and how do you even make such a decision? I'm already upset. What are you talking about, right? So your mind's going to be trying to figure it out, and that's okay. That's what you want to do. That's the whole point of this. So I want to remember my function. I mean, it's probably likely halfway through this, you're like, wait, what is my function anyway? What is my function here? So the whole point, and we like to think that your function is forgiveness, right? Remember that your function is forgiveness only because you're in a world in which needs forgiving. But in the truth of who you are, even as the light of the world, the light in which brings about the existence of it, just like that projector idea of any sort of world, a world that doesn't need forgiveness. So therefore your function would be something other than forgiveness. So forgiveness is only a function, a purpose that you are applying when you have a world that needs forgiveness, right? It's not necessary when you don't have a world that needs forgiving. If you have nothing to forgive, you have no reason to forgive, right? Okay. So in that recognition that there is an eternal function as well as this temporal function that you have in the physical world. Okay, so forgiving in the physical world is trying to see past and choose happiness instead, choosing your eternal instead, choosing to see that instead in every single opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. Okay. So, I mean, as far as when we get into this and recognizing that you are the Son of God and the function that the Holy Spirit sees the world as is quite literally as an opportunity to see the sins that you believe are real. That the Son of God has believed that some things are right and some things are wrong, right? So you see this all the time. Right? You see, this is right, this is wrong, this is bad, this is good, this is evil, this is a thing, this is, ew, I don't do those things. Don't even get close to me. These are all opportunities which will have to, they are required to forgive in order to discover who you are. You are required to be without judgment of any kind. And that means judgment is quite literally the opposite of forgiveness, right? I know this is good, I know this is bad. That is a judgment. I know this is right and this is wrong. That is judgment. I know this is here and this is there. That's judgment. It gets more complex as you get, this is hot and this is cold. Those are judgments. Essentially, you get past the whole experience of the world. But of course, at the first, why not just focus on the fact that, do you know, are they ugly or pretty? Those are judgments, yes, absolutely, on the surface, right? But it gets deeper as far as you're willing to go. Your mind is making judgments all the time. It's deciding what it is experiencing. That's what judgments are. So every second that goes by, you are confronted with that opportunity to make the decision of forgiveness and happiness instead, or to be upset. And it's okay, because regardless of which direction you go, you're making a choice out of innocence. You are innocent. You're getting upset because you don't even realize that you're hurting yourself. You don't even realize that you're bringing this about, making a painful situation because you're so innocent. And you're involved in this, you don't even realize that this is not what you want because you think it's what you want. Now it gets a little confusing, but you're still innocent, regardless if you're making right or wrong decisions.